Mashiko, a beautiful nature-filled place north of Tokyo with a very unique and special history. Home to hundreds of potters and large wood-fired kilns, Mashiko is best known as a pottery town. I visited Mashiko for the first time a few years ago as my interest in the history of Japanese pottery grew, and I began to make pottery myself. I quickly came to love it. Back then, I had no intention of making Mashiko part of my life, and I never even believed it would be possible that we could as a family be part of such a special place. But through some sort of twist in the tale, we are now creating a home here. I hope you will follow us on this experience. Where it will lead us, I don't know, but one thing I know is it is bound to be interesting. I have already made some detailed videos about Mashiko and the Mingi movement over on my other channel, Ridge Kiln. This is also where I talk about my own art and other design influences. So if you're interested, please check it out. Here's just a little more insight into Mashiko. Mashiko has a connection with the UK through one of its most famous artists called Hamada Shoji. Hamada befriended a British potter called Bernard Leach and became one of the leaders in instigating the Mingi movement. This is Japan's equivalent to the arts and crafts movement. This was the appreciation of handmade, unfettered, traditional crafts using local and natural materials. These things were often made by unknown craftsmen and were affordable and accessible to all. This history is going to be a big influence on what we want to create here. It will influence how we renovate and what we renovate with. It will influence how we use the space and will influence the art that I hope to create here. I have big dreams for this space, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I want to take it slowly and enjoy the journey. Maybe the dreams or use for this space will change over time. Let's see. Here's a bit of our first walkthrough, so you can get to know what we're dealing with. Let me know what you think. Would you consider tackling this space? The house itself is around 50 years old and basically came free with the price of the land. This is often how older properties in Japan are sold, as it is just expected that you will flatten the land and build something new. Maybe we will eventually, but for now we would like to use this building and practice our DIY skills. The house had been vacant for 10 years or so, and it needs a lot of love and repairs. Also, as you can see, it comes with a lot of the previous owner's belongings. If you find a place like this, you can sometimes lower the asking price by a couple of million yen to compensate for the cost of removing these items. There are a lot of windows facing the southeast, and very little on the other side of the building. These rooms get a lot of morning sun, and in the evening they get pretty cool. This was where the old bath heater was. This is a little building tagged onto the outside. This is a little prefab hut, We plan to make this into a tiny living and playing space for our kids. When we first came to open the door of this place, there was one of these guys sitting on the handle, so we now call it the Frog Hut. The owner was a carpenter, so there are lots of old rusty tools. I'm hoping to convert this barn into a work and gallery space in the future. Currently, the barn just has a dirt floor and stores lots of hay and farming equipment. These open barns once again have a lot of stuff in them. Will we be able to find a use for some of these things? Whatever we do with it all, it is going to be a lot of work to clear up. Along the way, I want to show you some of the charms of Mashiko and the surrounding areas. I would like to highlight some of the businesses here. I will take you antique shopping and to some of the local cafes and restaurants. Tochiki's architecture is unique, and a lot of buildings use local Oya stone. I would like to talk about this next time. I would also like to take you into nature and show you what it is like living in the Japanese countryside. Next episode, I will go into some of our plans for the space. And we will be starting some works with our real estate agent, so we will go into the details about that then. We hope to see you next time at the Kiln House.